is this? So is Hasan blaming me that he got detained at the airport? Yeah, guys, I made the call.
And I was shocked. We're unironically brought up in that conversation. The Houthi. Like, did you...
That's right. Yes, that's right. Saying that
Wait, I never said Asmongold is the reason. What? I like that these guys live in their own little bubble where they say stuff like this. No, I never said Asmongold is the reason. I said that the type of shit that Asmongold and Redditors would bring up were being brought up in the line of questioning by the federal government, which I thought personally was insane, because you would assume that the investigations that the Customs and Border Patrol or the Department of Homeland Security are conducting would be, a little bit more informed than like a Redditor comment. Did I even mention Asmongold's name in this? I don't even know. I might have said that, like, the type of questioning that came from a Customs and Border Patrol officer was like a slop tuber. You really can't do anything without someone getting pissed off. I know. It's because there's an entire ecosystem designed around dumb fucks who don't know anything, who don't even understand the consequences of this kind of behavior from the federal government and how that might impact them or a loved one in the future. Just simply are in it for drama and clicks. Of course, I don't even expect Asmongold to do the basic cursory analysis of like whether or not I even brought him up or blamed him for it. He just probably read a Reddit comment and immediately went along with it.
you support a designated terrorist organization got you extra questioning whenever you were re-entering the country.
Oh, you want to see a Houthi musical?
Sure.
I know they're singing.
This is not this. Again, this right here, what he's showing right here is constitutionally protected speech and does not actually reach the standard of a Customs and Border Patrol investigation. That is the whole point. Why are people behaving as though this is normal when the entire reason why this is newsworthy is because it's not normal? There is a reason why every single news outlet wrote about this story. The reason for why every single news outlet on the planet, including international news, wrote about this story is because this is new, okay? This is not something that is normal. That is the whole point. I am so frustrated with the stupidity of the people that have so much motion in the online discourse spaces that just rely on the stupidity of the audience to craft these idiotic arguments. Is the same reason why people will turn around and say, like, well, Mahmoud Khalil was doing material support for terrorism. No, he wasn't. And that is precisely the reason why. That's a precedent-setting court case that is unfolding in front of us right now at this very moment. It is precisely the reason why he didn't do that. The reason why he didn't do that in the government's claims for this detainment is invalid, that it is becoming a Supreme Court case. You can't just simply go, I agree with it, so you know, it's actually normal and routine. You can't just say that. You can say you agree with this detention and then craft an argument around why you agree with this detention, but you can't act like this is normal, okay? Especially at a time when obviously adults, journalists are going, this is not normal. Very frustrating that stupidity is rewarded over and over and over again, okay?
Yeah, but I'm seeing just guns and shit. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
I have no problem with the Houthis. Yeah, because I don't. What do you mean?
Yeah, okay, there it is.
If you think I'm a terrorism supporter for that reason, then yeah, I'm a terrorism supporter. What are you talking?
Okay, well, there it is. Wow.
What do you mean, okay, well, there it is? None of this is reaching the boundary that is... You can't just say there it is and then that's your argument, okay? This is still very much constitutionally protected speech. Please, what the is going on? It's so basic. I feel like a 14-year-old understands this concept. Oh my God. I guess you don't believe in free speech, which we knew already. He does not.
Can you believe the levels of oppression that we have today?
Gotten me arrested is insane. And I genuinely, in that moment, was thinking like, these dumbass slop tubers are actually playing with fire. And I even thought...
Really? Playing with fire? Okay.
Yes. Yes, they are. By the way, I like that Asmongold immediately assumed I was talking about him when I said slop tubers. I guess he knows that that he is a slop tuber. Yes, the fact that the federal government is utilizing lists from terrorist organizations like Beitar to actually conduct unlawful detentions and deportations of student activists. The fact that the federal government is literally conducting investigations that basically revolve around like slop tuber drama is alarming. Yes, that is what is going on here. That is what is alarming about the situation. It's still crashing out pure cinema. This is, oh my God. Oh, chatter. I am a political commentator talking about my own personal unlawful detention by Customs and Border Patrol, which is a matter that has escalated so severely that international news is covering it because it is unprecedented in its nature, while simultaneously talking about the dangers of what this means for the future of all Americans, okay, in a country where the government is saying that they want to deny habeas corpus. This is my job. It happens to be a unique instance where it's not only my job, but it's also something that I have personally experienced. This is not a crash out. This is called political commentary. I know that so many of you are so firmly locked in on drama and slop and can't understand news and commentary and news coverage without thinking everything is drama or without thinking everything is slop. It's very frustrating. About not even mentioning this because I was like, I don't want to give him any.
Okay, so that's the first lie here. Does anybody actually believe that he actually thought of not mentioning this?
He actually instantly tweeted about it, and since then reposted it dozens of times.
The reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is working with a lot of these dipshits. These
That's right. I made the call yesterday when...
No. Oh, my God. Oh my God. It's extra frustrating because not only is this incredibly stupid, but it's extra frustrating because I know the audience is incredibly stupid and they don't have the reading comprehension here. And all they will do is listen to Asmongold's framing on the matter. My opinion here is the unique nature of the federal government's incompetence paired up with their interest in violating people's constitutionally protected First Amendment rights. It's not only incredibly dangerous, but it's also incredibly incompetent. For example, and this is an example that I used in my commentary yesterday, the Trump administration's central command used targeting from a random Twitter user. And in the process of using targeting from a random open source intelligence account from the Netherlands, they ended up killing 8 civilians in Yemen because of one of the targets that they had created. This random open source intelligence account living in Netherlands caused the federal government and caused the military to go and strike a random area in Yemen. The State Department has actively worked with organizations like Beitar that are insane. They're terrorist organizations. Like they have 501c3 status, but they're like very actively and known to be terrorist organizations. They claim to be open Kahanists and Jabotinsky supporters. These guys are creating the deportation list for the fucking federal government. That's the reason why Rumeysa Öztürk was detained. That's the reason why she almost got deported for writing a article on a student newspaper. This in and of itself is so shocking and so alarming. And my job is to, of course, talk about this from the perspective of free speech. It is my job as a political commentator. These guys do not understand anything. They think everything is fucking drama. They do not understand how this can impact them as well.
Hasan wasn't in the country. He was in France or whatever. And I was like, Donald, all right, we've got our chance. He's going to be coming back in a day or so. So yeah.
Dipshits are playing a formative role in getting people in trouble with the law.
Yes, that's the point. We don't want people supporting terrorism, promoting terrorism on the platform.
So wait, he proved the point that I was making. I'm 99% sure it was the Trump administration is inadvertently working with a lot of these dipshits, but Asmon's editor cut out the inadvertent part. I don't know what the original comment I made was. I don't remember, but I mean, I guess we can find it and look at it and see if he actually cut that part out, but it doesn't matter, because he then turns around and admits that, like, yeah, we want that. We want this to happen. We want the federal government to go after people that we don't like the speech of. Like, he then turns around and admits the point that I was making, which is that this is dangerous. This is danger. This is, you're playing with fire. Like, what an insane statement. Like, what's the argument here? That you want me to be in federal prison because you don't like my commentary on American foreign policy? What a psychotic thing to admit. This is the type of shit that should instantly cause someone like this and their fan base to go, what the fuck do you mean? You want a Twitch streamer to go to federal prison because you don't understand and like his commentary on American foreign policy? What the kind of free speech absolutism is this? So you're not a free speech absolutist. You are not a free speech defender at all. And it's what's shocking about this is that it doesn't even revolve around like genuinely held convictions or political disagreements. It's just simply drama and how much the algorithm will feed Asmongold. That's what's so psychotic about it. What these guys do not understand is they just stand on this position where they personally think, they stand on this position and they personally think that this won't actually impact them at all. And they're stupid for it. Yeah. Mike from PA said, oh, here, this was the tweet. I also retweeted this as well. But here, he also had these statements as well, where he was just like, yeah, are actually playing with fucking fire. And I even thought about not even mentioning this because I was like, I don't want to give him any sort of like power over the situation. But like, the reality of the matter is 100% the Trump administration is inadvertently working with a lot of these dipshits. Yeah, I did say inadvertently, and they cut it out to make it seem like I said the Trump administration is working with these dipshits. It's so silly. It's so silly. It's so disingenuous, but it doesn't even matter. Look at the disdain that he has. This cockroach. Really interesting was in the actionable side of things.
Yeah.
They also asked, have you ever interviewed a member of Hamas? Have you ever had a communication or correspondence with a member of Hamas, Hezbollah, or the Houthis? Now, what's really insane about that is that as someone who works in media, sometimes I do actually do journalism, right? As I've maintained this position over and over again. And I said that I would.
Journalism is when you tell people that they're like anime characters.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, bro, be for real. Asmongold defended you at the start of all this and extended charitability on almost all occasions until you continue to slander him. What do you expect? Back at the end of the day, what are you talking about? I've never even demanded that he gets banned off the platform. You know that, right? Even when he said Palestinians are an inferior culture that deserves to be genocided. You understand that? He's been calling for my ban and now has elevated that to calling for my permanent detention by the federal government because he doesn't like my commentary. This isn't petty drama, you moron. This is real shit happening to me, and one day will happen to you. If it can happen to me, okay, a person with a public figure status with money, why the do you think you're protected? God damn. You literally talked to him to explain shit to him after that statement, like you extended so much charitability. I know. What are you? What is this like? Oh, dude, he's not charitable anymore. I don't care if he's charitable to me, dumb. There's a difference between charitability from Asmongold or whatever, and also actively supporting the federal government, packing up people that he personally has a distaste for their opinions. Like, what do you mean? He's been calling me a terrorist for months at this point. You got checked at the border. They question you. That's not a rights violation. Brother, that absolutely is a violation. What are you talking about? Do you think that the government can ask you questions and potentially deny you entry into the country over your opinions of Donald Trump? Are you that stupid? Yes, it is. I'm an American citizen. And as an American citizen, I have protected First Amendment rights, which means that even if I were to literally tell the Customs and Border Patrol agent that, like, I love Hamas, there is no way that they are supposed to deny you entry into the country. It is the United States Constitution. They let you in? Yes, they did. But the entire purpose of this silly detention was to create a chilling effect on free speech. It is a direct violation of the federal government's responsibility not to do that. If you're coming back from Colombia and have pics online of you with kilos, you get searched too. Wait, what? Coming back from Colombia and had pics online of you getting with kilos? What? Was I coming back from Yemen with pictures of me online with prominent members of Ansar Allah? I was in France, dumbass. What are you saying? Do you understand why you had to find a totally ridiculous comparison? Does that bring up any red flags in your mind as to why you had to come up with a totally separate situation as an analog here to make this seem more justifiable, in which, by the way, it still wouldn't be? They didn't put you in jail. They didn't charge you with anything. They didn't think anything. Oh, holy shit. It was an unlawful detention where the line of questioning revolved around my loyalty to the current administration. If you cannot understand how this is a severe escalation from the current government, I don't know how to explain this to you. And it will inevitably happen to you as well. Also, possession of narcotics or evidence of your possession of narcotics is not the same thing as protected speech. You understand that, right? Do you not recognize how this violates your rights as well? Like this means that a Customs Border Patrol officer could just, like, again, falsely detain whoever the fuck they want and just question them for hours on end about their loyalty to Donald Trump. Or let's say under the Brandon administration, they were like, do you like DEI? It says here that you don't like DEI. Why don't you like DEI? Why don't you like gay people? Why don't you like why don't you like the idea that titties in video games are smaller now? Why do you want them to be bigger? I lived in Mexico for a bit and got questioned deeply coming back in before, and I did less than what they would see about you online. I guess at this point, it just, this guy is just a bootlicker, right? Like he's basically saying that, like, it happened to me and it was an unpleasant experience, but it's totally normal and it should happen to every single person. Did they ask you about whether you like Donald Trump when you came back into the country? Was that the line of inquiry? No, it's not normal. The point is that it's not normal. Also, it wasn't like a couple questions from the border agent at the gate. The entire reason as to why this is a newsworthy situation, I'm going to try to do this to the best of my ability to basically explain to people over and over again. The reason why so many articles have been written about this is precisely because this is not normal. It is a new thing, okay? It is a new thing. That's it. Like, it's not normal to have done this to you, even though you lived in Mexico for an extended period of time. So it's not even a perfect comparison here. But you have to understand that the line of questioning is precisely at the heart of this problem. He's literally going down this line. That didn't actually happen. If it did happen, it wasn't that bad. And if it was that bad, that's not a big deal. And that's actually totally normal. And if it wasn't normal, well, you probably deserved it anyway. I know. Virtually all of these conversations turn into that. All of these conversations turn into, oh, it didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad and it's normal. And if it wasn't normal, you deserved it. And as a matter of fact, if you deserved it, you deserve worse than it. Every single MAGA bootlicking dumb online, every single Asmon Roach fan is operating on that same boundary where they just, like, don't understand how much of a severe violation of their own personal rights this is.